Good morning, Rainmakers. It's Priyan here from Rainway Reality. Hope you're well. It's Saturday, I believe the 1st of February. Today's podcast really is about the new age of opportunity, how AI and globalization are changing success. In today's market, success is not determined by where you are, your background, where you come from, what traditional career paths you took. The internet and AI and globalization are creating unprecedented opportunities for anyone to build profitable businesses and to follow their passions. In this episode, we'll look at technology and how people can break free from the old system and really do something in order to become the best they can as individuals, whether you be an entrepreneur, a creative person, looking for new direction. This is the time to make things happen. So, the new age of opportunity, where are we coming from? AI is something that is going to revolutionize the world as we see it today. You took electricity, for example, and we're right at the beginning of it as well. So it's not as if you've missed the boat or things happening. You're right at the beginning of this opportunity. To give you an example, electricity, I believe, once it was actually created, only went into the homes properly and the appliances that worked with it and stuff 100 years after it was first founded. With regards to the internet, I think it took 3-4 years, 10 years, 15 years until it was properly adopted and went into people's homes. With regards to the Apple App Store, it was about 2 years after that sort of Uber came along and Airbnb. And since then now, there's millions of apps. So in terms of the AI revolution, we are just at the starting point of where we can be and what we can do. Again, with regards to globalization and the way we live our lives, which, COVID really opened our eyes to, it really showed us where we can work from remotely and that we don't have to be in an office and carry on a traditional job as we did in the past. So in the old system sort of wants to keep you under control, i.e. it brainwashes you to think that you need to go to school, that you need to then go on to higher education and do your O levels and A levels. But if you actually look at the way schools are run still at the moment as a mass, they're exactly the same as they were 2,000 years ago, i.e. you have a classroom, there's somebody at the front and they tell you what to do and you follow it. Yes, now there may be an iPad and there may be a screen, but ultimately it's the same way of learning. It hasn't evolved. Look at a telephone. How has a telephone evolved? Look at a car, how a car has evolved. And the reason why it hasn't evolved is because society wants to control you. They want to make sure that you have to do things in a certain way where they can control you, i.e. you have to go to work because otherwise you don't earn any money, and then you have to buy a house or rent a house, which then they control as well due to economic factors. And so as a result of that, you are controlled throughout your life. Now, however, with Bitcoin, where they have no control over the Bitcoin, it's purely a status of supply and demand. Anybody can get rich, whether you be 15 years old or 50 years old. Whereas if you were a banker or you were in property at the time, you weren't able to do a deal or do something because you had to earn your way up the ladder in order to get to a certain position, in order to even be able to deal with that opportunity to come along. Now, to give you an example of that very quickly, I've set up an estate agency. Curzon, with my colleagues. And we have a young chap, 25 years old, who's looking to try and do a deal for around 200 million AED. That's around 50 million pounds. Now, anywhere other than Dubai, you would not find this opportunity. So, why is that happening in Dubai and nowhere else? The reason being is that Dubai provides you with the opportunity. It does not matter how old you are, it does not matter where you come from, as long as you're hardworking and you get into the right company, which will give you the right training, then you will be able to put yourself out there and deal with people in a systematic way where you would have never ever been able to in countries like the UK and America, and do deals which can change your life and be mesmerizing to anybody, not even alone a 25-year-old. So, how are the tools going to be used in order to disrupt businesses? Now, AI will make sure that your transformational journey is less obstructive. So ultimately, what will happen is that AI doesn't replace humans in terms of the feel and the touch and the sort of connections they have. All it's going to do initially is replace all the mundane tasks and the things that take up a lot of time and brain power, and actually accelerate that. So ultimately, what will happen in the next few years, or even now as we're speaking, you will have what's called sort of a lifestyle business, where you can generate £3 to £4 million worth of business with a team of around, say, 6 to 10 people. And with that 6 to 10 people, because of the fact that your margins and your overheads are so low, you can be making more of a margin of around 60%, 50%. So ultimately, you could be making £1 million profit on that particular company. Now, if you want to, of course, scale and go even bigger, then, of course, you need to have more business knowledge or more tech knowledge, because then you're jumping into a bigger category of people that you're looking to employ, and also you're use technology in a more advanced way. However, I mean, come on, £3-4 million worth of turnover, 6 to 10 staff with those amazing margins. That's a fantastic opportunity for anybody to do something where you resonate your business, not only from a personal point of view where you're passionate about it, but also you're dealing with people that you like and get along with, and you're making an amazing profit and living an amazing lifestyle anywhere in the world that you want. Now, if you think about it, that is a fantastic opportunity, and it's something that you can all strive to do, whether you be 40, 50, whether you're selling art, whether you're basically an entrepreneur in a state agency or a yoga teacher. This is achievable. This is being done by people. There are the tools out there to follow. So you can actually do something yourself and really build a business. Now, people say, oh, the internet, God, everybody has these tools. Everybody sort of is in competition with everybody. I'm dealing with the best tech people in the US. I'm dealing with funds from sort of China. How am I going to compete? But you just got to change your mentality. Don't consider it like as if we're saying, all these people are your competitors. Think of it more as all these people are your customers. Now, think of it. You've got 7 billion, 8 billion people to sell to. Of course, you are going to be in a more niche product, so you're not selling to all of them. But ultimately, you're going to be selling. It's not like when you're in the olden days where you're sort of sitting at your home here. I'm in Dubai at the moment, in Lime Tree Valley, one of the best estates in Dubai. And if I set up a yoga business now, I'm thinking, oh, my captive audience is just around here and also maybe Dubai, because nobody's actually going to travel from DIFC, because it takes 45 minutes to travel from there all the way to come, or half an hour to come here, depending on traffic. Now, one of the pinching points of doing physical exercise or anything, as we've talked about, is the sort of resistance that you have. So no one, even if you do an amazing class, is going to come all that way due to the fact that the resistance is there for them to then get in the car, travel there, travel back. However, if you're now on the internet and you're using AI, and for example, you've got their camera set up, the AI itself is a program where you've programmed it and taught it to look at angles on when they're doing the downward cow, for example. And then they can see from the angle that the downward cow is slightly bent over on the left. Now, the AI system will pick that up because you've programmed it and told it about it, and also fed it so much information that it will say to the person that's actually carrying out the AI carrying out the lesson, oh, please raise your left chin or do this or whatever. I don't know what the yoga sayings are, and it will talk to it in a yoga-like manner, really softly and calmly, and give it that sort of reassurance. Left knee up, please, darling, or whatever it is. And again, it will synchronize with the personality of the person, because what you can do is get an interview with the person before they do it. So therefore, they know how they talk, how they are feeling, how they like to be spoken to, what is their motivation, what makes them feel good. So now you've got the most amazing AI person giving the yoga instruction. The person there thinks it's you because you're saying that you created this program, you're watching it, you're doing it, but ultimately they're just doing it from the AI thing. So there you go, business model idea. Now, with regards to sort of art, if you're looking at art, or you're looking at even property, doing virtual tours and virtual views of the property in a very systematic way. So therefore, people can view everything properly before they go see the property. So when they go see the property, they're only seeing properties that they really like and they really understand. Now, of course, there is the issue of the fact that there's not a human there and it's not as personable. From a yoga point of view, you can have, one-on-one classes, or have a class somewhere where they only come down to Jumeirah Golf Estate once a week or once a month as a group and a community to keep that bond together. And that's where the skill comes in, of trying to sort of create the systems where they can work and do stuff, but ultimately they come to you for your personality and who you are in order to build that relationship, in order to carry on doing it. Otherwise, somebody else could just create an AI tool which is just as good as yours, but ultimately it comes down to the fact that it's you and your personal branding and who you are and how you deliver it, and the extras you add on top, which will make you stand out from the rest. Likewise, in property, when you go for the viewing and then you see the view and the feel can't be achieved on the video. So they're talking about the feel and talking about the understanding of the plot itself and where it's positioned, and also resonating with them and understanding and educating them about Vastu and stuff. That can't be achieved on the video, but when you go for your viewings, you take that in. So when you go on a viewing to view something and then you send the video, but you say to them, oh, this is like such and such, and this is like such and such, then they get a joy and a passion and understand, you really understand what they're saying. You're not just sending them videos. So I encourage you all to sit back, think about what you really want in life, where you want to be, what you want to achieve, and don't let this opportunity go. If you're sitting in London, for example, I've left London now, flown the nest, as they said. And if you feel like you want to have a place where it's safe, where a place where it's the land of opportunity, as I said, you can do any deal, make any money, you have the expertise, you have the passion and joy, come to Dubai. Don't sit there and just think, oh, I'm just going to go through the gravy train and carry on doing what I do and how I do it, be miserable, go off to work, come back, go on holidays, and then not really that. You only live once, only once. And I've taken a leap of faith and come to Dubai. And I can tell you it's one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm meeting people, talking to people, living a life like I'm on holiday half the time, but then working so hard the rest of the time, but also having a very nice balance in my life. So come over. If you don't even come over to Dubai, look at AI, look at the opportunities, look at how you can make yourself better, even if it's not for your work and stuff, for your health. How you can, health, for example, very quick example. A friend of mine the other day said he was living on a shoestring budget because of the fact that he doesn't have very much money at the moment. So therefore, he wasn't eating well. Because he wasn't eating well, his energy levels were low, and he wasn't, performing to his best optimum self. I said to him, "That's fine. Go on AI, tell them where you live, tell them how much money you have, and tell them to create a food plan for you and your family for 7 days on that budget." Now, AI will do that down to a T. So, no excuses for then not using AI for your life. I hope he's done it. Big shout out to you, big man. But thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm off to paddle now. And later on, my mother is coming from Sri Lanka with 8 of her friends. But Rainmakers, it's been amazing to talk to you today. As you can see, I'm carrying on the podcast with even my blip that I had. But I hope to be here tomorrow again. And as I said, I have to reorganize my time and my schedule in order to spend quality time with my mum and her friends, as well as thing. And then I will also be going to England and meeting anybody there who's not miserable. But I know, I'm joking when I say everybody's miserable there. But hopefully see the wonderful weather. Take care. See you soon.